Have you ever seen logarithms with different bases in the same problem and wondered how to simplify or solve them? Today I'll show you how to combine, evaluate, and manipulate logs with different bases using key log properties and the change of base formula. We'll start with the three main log rules for combining logarithms, then learn how to evaluate logs with different bases, and finally see how we can manipulate bases to solve equations more efficiently. So evaluating logarithms with different bases. So the base here is 2, the base here is 4, and the base here is a half. Now all of these bases, we could make them into a common base. Watch how I do this. So the 2, we're just going to keep it as log base 2. So that's log base 2, 5. Plus the 4, we know we could make that into 2 squared. And then we still have the 36 in here. Plus the half, whenever you have a base that's a fraction, you could make it non-fraction. So you make it 2 basically, of 15, but you have to throw a negative right in front of the log. Okay, so that's basically becomes plus minus log base 2, 15. Now this becomes log base 2, 5 plus, and whenever you have an exponent on the base, you could take that 2 and just put it under 1 in front of the log. So it becomes 1/2 log base 2, 36. Now plus and minus here just makes it minus log base 2, 15. Now the log rules, whenever we're adding, we could change this to multiplication. And when we're minusing, we could change it to division. But we still have to do one more thing before we could do that, because of that half here, if we don't bring it up here, we're not able to collect the logs yet. So now this becomes log base 2, 5 plus log base 2, 36 to the power of 1/2. That's the log rule. It could bring the half on top of the 36 minus log base 2, 15. And you know, in math, we always simplify and go. So now this 36 to the power of 1/2 is the same as the square root of 36. So let's simplify this first before we collect the logs. So, or combine the logs. Plus log base 2, 36 36 to the power of 1/2 is the same as the square root of 36, and the square root of 36 is 6. So that's going to become 6 minus log base 2, 15. Now at this stage, we could combine the logs. We're going to have log base 2, put everything in brackets here, and you're going to have 5 times 6 over 15. Now that's 30 over 15, that becomes log base 2, 2, which equals a log base 2. 2 is asking you 2 raised to what power equals 2? That's 1. And whenever the base and what you log in is the same, that's always 1. Now, a lot of you might ask, how did you do this? What's going on here? The exponent becomes a half in front of the log. And if you have a base that's a fraction, you could make it non-fraction and throw a negative in front of there. I'm going to show you how that is, okay? So let's take, first of all, the log. Let's take the log 2 to the 2 of 36. Now, most of you remember that change of base, log base a x, we could change it to log x over log a. So that's a rule, the change of base. And I'm going to apply that to this. So if I apply that to this, this is going to become log 36 over log 2 squared. And the 2 squared, I could bring the 2 right in the front there, so that becomes log 36 over 2 log 2. Now we have the 2 on the bottom right here, but this here is, sorry, that's a 36. We could also come back, go this way or come back this way. So log 36 over log 2 is log base 2 of 36. And therefore, this is the same as having a half in front of log base 2 of 36. So that's the first one, which is this. How about this? Base half, 15 becomes negative log base 2, 15. It's the same thing. So I'm going to take it from here. Okay, so I'm just going to change that. Log half, 15. I'm going to change that to log 15 over log half. Okay. Now, I'm going to make that log 15 over log, and the half, I'm just going to make that 2 to the power of negative 1. Because 2 to the power of negative 1 is the same as 1 over 2. And now we could bring that negative 1 down, so we have log 15 over, bring the negative 1 in front of the log, if you wish, log 2. Now you see this right here, we're going to use this here to go back that way, and so we have log base 2, 15 over negative 1, which gives me negative log base 2, 15, and that's how we did that. So just in case you were wondering, how did we do all of this? It's all in here. Okay. Logarithms can feel tricky at first, but with practice, they become much more intuitive. The key is to understand the rules and recognize patterns in problems. Whether you are simplifying logs, changing bases, or solving equations, always look for ways to break down the problem step by step. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. If you enjoyed this lesson, hit the like button to support the channel, subscribe so you do not miss future math tutorials. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'd love to help you out. Also, try solving a few problems on your own and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.